Shalom and happy Hanukkah. We are on day 5 of Hanukkah 2019 and we are celebrating. And we want to understand what it is that we're celebrating, right? So we're going to dig into the word Hanukkah and learn what that means and how we can apply it to our lives today. So before we jump in, if you have not read 1st and 2nd Maccabees, I suggest you do. It has the historical and miraculous record of our ancestors fighting for our right to practice our faith. And even the women got in on this, like the whole nation was fighting in that particular area against the Greeks to practice their faith. So if you have not read it, read it, because it is just full of wonderful and miraculous historical events that they took out of the biblical scriptures. But you can get it. You can get it online. Just type in 1st, 2nd Maccabees and just read. So we must understand our history so that we can understand what our ancestors have done, so we can understand what the Most High is requiring from us as believers and children of Israel today. So let's jump in. So in the English version of dedicate, it means the devotion of time or an effort for a purpose, right? So that's the English definition of to dedicate. Now we're going to look at the Hebraic definition of dedicate, and it is the word kanak. And it's an action, a verb. And remember, in the Hebrew, we are trying to understand what a word does, not what it looks like or how it feels, right? So in the Hebrew, everything is action-oriented. So we are to train, right? And so inside of the word dedicate is another verb, kek, and it means the roof of the mouth or the gum, the palate, and it is connected with eating, and eating is connected with the word of the Most High. And Moreh Yoshiyahu of the Ark did a fabulous teaching on the palate and the baby nursing, and it was just good, and he tied it into dedication and training up. And we know that when you're training, you need your nutrients, right? And when the baby has to latch on to the mother, they will take I've seen dates or oil and put it at the roof of the baby's mouth to make the baby latch on, because the baby needs the nutrients of the mother's milk to be able to grow, so that they can be dedicated or they can be trained up in the way that they should go. So we need our nutrients, and we need to latch on to the word of the Most High. So that is inside of the word dedicate, right? And we're going to get to how strangulation, right? To strangle, how is that connected to dedicate, right? But first we want to break it down slowly. So we know it's an action, a verb, it means to train, and inside of that you have to have your nutrients, right? Because it has a picture of the roof of a mouth or gums, and this is to eat. So eating is connected to the word of the Most High. Words are connected to speech. Your mouth is also connected to being thirsty, right? So all of these things are connected to the word to dedicate. So we want to make sure we have the proper training or the proper nutrients so that we can be able to digest and be able to train and dedicate ourselves to the Most High. Okay, so we're going to break down the letters really quickly. We have the Hebrew letter ket, which is a wall or a fence, right? And it means outside or divide in half. So we know a wall is to protect us from the outside elements. Most people think it's to keep us in, but in the Hebraic mindset, it's to keep things out. It's protection, right? So that's how we have to think. We cannot think with a Western mindset when it comes to understanding Hebrew. we have to think with an ancient Hebraic mindset, because that is what the scriptures were written in. So we have to go back and put on our ancient mind and learn what words really mean in the Hebrew. Right? So we have this wall or fence. That's the first letter of the word to dedicate. So it's a picture of a wall or fence, and it means protection from the outside elements. Next, you have noon, which is a picture of a seed, and this has the meaning to continue, as in an heir or a son, to continue to a new generation. The next letter, the last letter, is Kaf, which is a picture of an open palm, right? And this means to tame, to subdue, to bend to another's will. So we're going to put them all together, the letters and the pictures all together, and see if we can come up with the true meaning of the word to dedicate. So there's a wall or a fence that protects us from the outside elements, and you have the seed or the heir or the sons or the next generation inside of this wall, and you have where inside of this wall with the heir or the sons, the Most High is taming, subduing, or bending us to his will with what? The word, the Torah. So inside of dedication is protection. Inside of dedication is protection of the next generation, because they have the will, or they are doing the will of the Most High. And inside that protection, you have to be tamed, you have to be subdued, and you have to be bent to the will of the Most High. So you see, inside of this word dedicate, it means more than just to train. You actually understand what the training process is. And in training, we have to be bent to the will of the Most High. And the only way we're going to do that is to stay inside of this wall or fence, which is what? The Torah. It is guarding us. It is keeping us. It is training us. It is instructing us. So we want to dedicate ourselves. We want to train ourselves up by eating the proper foods, which is the word of the Most High, by allowing the Most High to train us, by allowing the Torah to protect us. We have to stay inside of the Torah that will protect us from the outside elements of who? The enemy, Hasatan. He is trying to kill, steal, and destroy. Right? So just that little bit of breaking down the Hebraic letters, we get to see the inside, the true meaning of the word to dedicate. Now, how does to strangle have to do with dedication? Because I was stuck when I got into this root word, and it's another verb inside of dedicate, or it is connected. It's a root word or family word to dedication, and it is the verb to strangle. And I'm like, what in the world? But as I sat there and I just meditated on it, the Most High, he gave it to me. When I looked at it in the English translation and what it meant in the American dictionary, it is to suppress the growth of, or to hinder the rise, to discipline. So when you're strangling something, you are hindering the growth of. So anything that is not of the Most High, anything that is flesh, anything that is worldly, anything that is of the enemy, it needs to be strangled. It needs to be suppressed. That needs to be hindered so that it does not rise, right? And that is to discipline. So looking at the ancient Hebraic wording and understanding, it gives us a better, right? It gives us a better understanding of the word to dedicate. Inside of the word dedicate is more root words and family words that will help us to understand this wonderful, miraculous feast of rededication. And when you actually take the time to read the historical records of the Maccabees, you will see all of this inside of what they did, right? So I hope that helped you, because it helped me in studying, and it helped me to understand what dedication really means, what it takes to be really dedicated. All right, enjoy the rest of your feast days, and until the next video, shalom, everyone.